All right, hey guys, and welcome to Zenfolio Live. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Support, Customer Success, whatever it is that I do around here. And thank you for joining us here on the live stream. So today we're going to be talking about building a price list. I'm going to go through and start from scratch, build a price list with you guys, and give you some best practices, recommendations. Along the way, if you guys have any questions about building a price list, any features that you specifically want to know about, definitely make sure to let me know so I can cover those. But we're going to start just building a price list from scratch today and just go through that whole process and then assign it to a gallery so you guys have a good understanding of how all that works. If this is your first time watching the live stream, make sure to say hi to us in the chat. Let us know where you're from. And guys, if you have any questions about Zenfolio at all, even if it has nothing to do with selling, if it's completely off subject, just make sure to get them in the chat so I can answer those live. Also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure to click that subscribe button or the orange Zenfolio logo in the bottom right corner of your screen. That way you can subscribe to the channel. We do new video tutorials every week, and then also we do the live stream every week. And so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of that great content to help you be successful here on Zenfolio. All right, guys, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and jump into building a price list. So let me hop over here. And we're just going to start right here. So this is your Zenfolio dashboard. And from here, what you're going to do is you're just going to hover over selling right here and click on price list. Now, this is where you can go and start building your price list. As you can see, I've already got a couple built here, but we're just going to build a new one from scratch. Now, the first time you see this, you're going to, and anytime you go back here, you're going to see these two options right here. You're going to see add a new price list, and you're going to see add a blank price list. Today we're going to be working through add a blank price list because I want to show you guys each and every step and take you through the process of building a price list from scratch. The add a new price list option is a great option if you want to just get a quick price list up there. It's going to come pre-populated with our most popular products. You can click right there and it's going to build a price list with one click, and all you have to do is go in and change the pricing and you're good to go. But I want you guys to see the whole process, so I'm going to start from scratch. So what we're going to do is we're going to click add blank price list right here. I'm going to try to say these words right. I was having some trouble earlier today saying words clearly for some reason. So add blank price list. And now the price list name is not that important. Your clients are never ever going to see this price list on the client side. Clients will never see the price list. What the price list name is important for is for your internal organization. So most of us photographers, we work with a variety of genres of clients. So we have, some of us shoot weddings, some of us do portraits, some of us do sports. Maybe there's some of us that do it all. And you might charge those clients differently based on the types of clients they are. Well, guess what? If you want to have a different price list for each client genre, you can. And that's what this price list name is for, is so that you know why you created this price list to begin with. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a portraits price list. So I'm just going to call this portraits. And then I might even go as far as to put maybe the year in. So portraits 2018. So now quickly, if I look at this price list, I know that I created this price list for my 2018 portrait clients. So the first step after you give the price list a name is to go ahead and click that add products button right here. So we're going to click add products. And then the first time you click that, you're going to see over here on the top right, you're going to see all vendors, which means that you're browsing products from all of our integrated vendors. Now, what you want to do is you don't want to browse products from all of our integrated vendors. I mean, you can browse through and look through them. What you don't want to do is you don't want to build a price list that has products from multiple vendors on it. And the reason is because your clients have no idea that it's coming from multiple vendors. But if they place an order and in that single order contain products from different labs, guess what? Those labs are going to charge their own shipping fees, and your clients are going to get hit with multiple shipping fees, and they're not going to understand why. And I've yet to have a client that was very happy about that. So what you want to do to avoid that is you want to build a price list with a single vendor. So in order to do that, you're going to click up here in the top right corner. you're just going to click where it says all vendors. And you're going to go through here and choose the vendor lab that you want to work with. So today we're going to build this price list from MPix Lab. So I'm just going to click right on MPix. And now, no matter what product category I choose, I'm going to be selecting products directly from MPix Lab. So let's go ahead and start off with some prints. So I'm going to click on prints, and we can go through and browse all of the different print options that MPix offers. Now, guys, I'm a big fan of a very simplified price list. So when I personally am building my price list, I try to limit it to 10 to 15 products at the max. The reason is because I find that the simpler my price list is, the more, the better chance clients are going to go in there and order, versus if there's lots of products. Maybe if there's lots of products, there's a chance that they're going to become indecisive, maybe even get a little frustrated and actually not order. So I've actually had better success with smaller, condensed price lists that are easier for the customer to navigate. So some of the things you can think of when you're building your price list and how to condense it is you might consider just offering products that match your camera's aspect ratio. So I shoot in 3:2 aspect ratio, and I upload all my images in 3:2 aspect ratio. And if I build my price list with products that fit that aspect ratio, then I don't ever have to worry about any cropping. I know that all of my images are going to fit on the products that I offer. So one of the things you can do is we actually have a calculator, and I'll throw this out there for you guys. It's a calculator that will help you figure out what your aspect ratio is based on your image size. So right here is the image size, and it will tell you what your aspect ratio is, and it'll also tell you print sizes in that aspect ratio as well. So I'm going to copy that link for you guys really quick and just throw that out here in chat. Actually, you know what? What I'm going to do is I'm going to get that link a little bit later and send it to you guys in chat so you have that, because it's actually on a video, and I want to make sure that you guys get that video. So if I could get Cheryl to throw that video link out that's building a better price list, that's got the link to download this spreadsheet in that video at the very bottom, and you guys can download it from there. And then this way you also have the video that goes with it. But what we're going to do really quick is I'm just going to... we're going to go right here, and we are going to choose some print sizes in the 3:2 aspect ratio so that when I upload my photos, they fit on these products and there's not any cropping issues. All right, so what I'm going to do is go through here and grab that 4:6, and let's grab that 6:9, and let's do a 8:12. And let's go down here. And yes, I'm cheating. I'm using the list. I do not have these memorized. So I pulled the list over here so I could cheat and pull this information off of that list, so I don't have to try to remember these. And then we'll do let's do a 16:24, I believe. Is that on there? Yeah, 16:24. And then we'll stop at a 20:30. Now, the other thing that calculator will do also, guys, and this is really important when you're building your price list, you want to know what the maximum size print your image files are capable of producing. So if you don't know what your max print size is, then you need to find that out. And that calculator on that video link will let you plug in your image dimensions, and it will tell you how large you can print your image at what DPIs. And that's something that's very important to know, because the last thing you want to do is you want to offer your client a product that your image is not capable of producing, and then you're stuck trying to figure out how to upsize it to make sure that it still comes out good quality. So knowing the maximum size that your file can print is another really good thing that you need to take into consideration when you're building your price list. So in this case, I know, for instance, that my max print size is somewhere around, well, it's larger than a 20:30, but that's usually the largest that I go. So we've got those products added right here. The last one I added was a 20:30. And then let me just get myself out of the way here so you guys can see everything. And then down here in the bottom, let me raise this up, you guys can see it. We're going to click the little Add Selected Products button right here to add these to our price list. So we're going to click add selected products, and that's going to bring us back here to the price list. So now we have added some products to the price list. Let's go ahead and keep working on a simplified price list to make this nice and condensed and really easy for our clients. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start going through these paper options and condensing these paper options down. I don't want my client to have to think about, well, what paper type do I want? I know by printing out my work which paper type works best for my work. And for this, I'm actually just going to stick with the E-Surface. Now, I do print a lot on the Kodak Metallic, but just for the ease of this, I'm just going to stick with the E-Surface color paper for my prints and products. So what I'm going to do is just come down here and uncheck these other options. And one thing I do like to point out, guys, is I had a client one time order a color image on true digital black and white paper, and they contacted me and they were confused as to why they got a black and white print. And so I do like to point out that the true digital black and white paper will produce a black and white print even if it's a color image that the client ordered. So that's something I definitely like to point out, and usually I just remove that to prevent any confusion for my clients. Okay, so far what we've done is we have added prints sizes to our price list that match our camera's aspect ratio. And then the next thing that we did was we came down here and we removed all of the paper options except for one. So now what we're going to do next is for this product category right here, we are going to go ahead and start setting up the pricing. So the way I recommend starting off doing this to make it easy is use what's called the pricing formula right here. So we're going to click on pricing. That's going to open up the formula window, and there's a couple of different ways to use this. Let me show you how I like to use it. There is a fixed markup, which I'm not a big fan of. I usually set this to 0, but the way that works is that actually takes whatever you put in there and it adds it to the base cost. So if you wanted to do a just standard $5 markup on everything, doing it through the fixed markup would be the way to go. So you would just put $5 in here, set this to 0, and then your selling price would be $5 over the base cost of each item. That's how a fixed markup works. I'm not a big fan of that route. I usually set it to 0 because I like doing, or at least starting with a percentage-based markup. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to round this up to 400%. And I'm going to set this to round up to the nearest dollar. Now, guys, when it comes to how much should you set your print and product pricing for, that's a question that I really can't answer. You definitely need to do some research in your local market. One of the best things that I ever did when I first got into photography was joined a photography Facebook group, and I talked to them about pricing, and I put my images in there and got torn apart in critiques, but it really helped me grow as a photographer, and it really taught me a lot about the industry, and taught me how to price my products, how to price my time, and things like that. And I cannot stress enough how important it is to surround yourself with other successful photographers and draw on their knowledge and experience in the industry, and it will help you grow. All right, so we're going to round that up to the nearest dollar, and then we're going to click apply. And that's going to apply a blanket markup to all of the products in this print or this product category right here. So that applied a 400% markup to everything. Once I do this, what I do from here is I go back and kind of fine tune it, because sometimes that markup makes things too expensive, and then sometimes it leaves other things a little too cheap. So what I'll do is go back and fine tune it. And there's two different ways to do that. So if you're looking at a 4x6 and you know that you want to make at least $2 on a 4x6, you could just go to the profit section and you could put in $2 right here, and it would set your selling price to what it needs to be so that you profit $2 from that 4x6. Now, the other thing you could do is you could say, well, I know that I can sell a 4x6 for at least $4. You could come over here and just put $4 in the selling price, and that's going to tell you what your profit will be. So those are the two different ways you can go back through and fine-tune things. And usually after I apply the percentage-based markup, I'll go back through and kind of fine-tune everything. Now let me just explain what these other sections are right here. So the selling price is the price that your client sees. And then the service fee is the Zenfolio service fee. That's going to be 7% across the board. The base price is the cost of the product from the lab, so that's what the lab's charging. And then your profit is what's left over from the selling price after the service fee and the base price has been taken out. That is your profit. So if I sold a 4x6 today, $3.43 is what would be deposited into my Zenfolio account. All right, so let's go down here, and basically what I do is I just go down through the price list, kind of fine tune all of these. I'm not really going to spend a lot of time doing that now, but I would just come down through the price list, fine tune the pricing of all the products. Once I'm happy where everything is priced in this category, then the next step is going to be to look over your order options. So again, keeping in mind that I want to build a very simple, streamlined price list, our ordering options are right here. So we're just going to click this gear, and this is going to show you the ordering options that your clients have. And personally, I'm going to take control of a lot of these options. So the first one is color correction. You can allow your clients to choose to have their photo color corrected if you want. The problem with doing that is sometimes if they're not consistent, it can result in some weird shipping things. So I usually set this to either apply color correction automatically, or I set it to do not enhance. Now, depending on why I'm building this price list and what type of photography I'm building it for, that's going to dictate what I set this up. Since this is a portrait price list, and I know I'm going to be doing a lot of post-processing already on my portraits, I'm going to go ahead and set this to do not enhance. If this was like a sports price list or something where I'm just going to upload pretty much right out of camera, I might have it go ahead and apply the color correction automatically. Next is color conversion. Now this is just a personal preference. What color conversion is it will let your clients do sepia tone or black and white conversions to your image. Personally, I do not like this option. I turn this off because if I wanted the photo to be black and white or sepia tone, I would have uploaded it that way. And I don't necessarily want my clients having control over that. However, it's perfectly fine if that's an option that you want to give your clients. It's not going to cost them anything extra, and it's not going to cost you anything extra. All right, next is cropping. Now you can allow your clients to crop the photos if you want. Since I'm building this price list based on my camera's aspect ratio, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set everything to fit, because I know that no matter what product they order, my photos are set to fit perfectly on the products that I offer. So let me go ahead and click apply. And before I move on, let me check on you guys in chat, see if we have any questions that I can take while I'm at this point, and just say hi to everybody. So give me 1 second and I will check on you guys in chat here. All right, so let's see here. We've got Roxanne that says, happy Thursday, back at you. Hey, Roxanne, it's always great to have you here hanging out with us. Robert Torres says, hi, new subscriber from Tampa, Florida, just getting started. Hey, Robert, thanks for hanging out with us today. This is a great place for you to learn about Zenfolio, and I'm actually going to be headed your way at the end of the day today, actually. I'm actually, as soon as I'm done, I am taking off, driving to Charlotte, and then driving from Charlotte down to Florida, because we've got a trade show in Destin. So if you guys are in the Destin area, we're going to be doing the Sync trade show. You guys should come say hi to us. We'll be hanging out there over the weekend for that trade show. Let's see. Julio says, hi, Robert. Best regards from Venezuela. Hey, from Venezuela. That's awesome. I love talking to people from all over the world. It's really cool to hear where you guys are from. And it's awesome that you're hanging out with us today from Venezuela. So thanks for saying hi and checking out the live stream. And guys, we've got Cheryl hanging out with us today as moderator. She's awesome. I really appreciate all the fantastic help that she gives me. I could not do this without my moderators, Cheryl and Kayla. You guys are awesome, and I really appreciate it. Home Phone says, aloha. Aloha, Home Phone. Always cool to have you here hanging out. Although I wonder if you have a real name. Let's see. Roxanne says, best advice, same aspect ratio, priceless. Yes, it is so amazing when you don't have to worry about your prints and images getting cropped off, because everything just fits. So it's really nice to build your price list like that, because then when your clients go in and order, the image that they see is the image that they're going to get, because everything fits perfectly. Let's see. Let's scrolling down here. Cheryl threw that video out with the price list calculator on it, so definitely check that video out, guys. Robert says, do you have special price list for panoramic? So we do have panoramic sizes, and Robert, with Zenfolio you can build as many price lists as you want, and you can actually choose what photos you want those price lists to apply to. So if you've got specific images that you only want offered in panoramic sizes, you can do that by building a price list that only contain those panoramic sizes. Now the sizes are a little bit limited, but I will show you what we have, but it's definitely an option that you can do. Okay, Marina says, what if I don't want to sell prints through Zenfolio? Hey, Marina, if you don't want to sell prints through Zenfolio, we have a really cool feature called Self-Fulfilled. It will actually let you sell anything that you want on Zenfolio, not just prints, but used photography gear, for example, and you can use any lab that you want. So there's actually a video on it on our YouTube channel. If you do a search on the channel, it's called Selling Anything You Want Through Zenfolio. It will walk you through the entire process of using our self-fulfilled products feature. It'll show you how to set up the products, how to set up the shipping, and that is how you can sell prints and products and other things not through our integrated labs. Homezone says, home is my first name and phone is my last name. No, I've never heard an ET joke about it. All right, that's pretty amazing. All right, so let me jump back into the topic of the price list. So let me jump back here. And so where we're at now is we've added some prints to this. We've limited the ordering options, and we've gone through and fine-tuned the pricing. So what we want to do next is let's add something aside from prints in here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go right here and minimize this, because I want you guys to see something. This is very important. If I go back to add products, and this time instead of doing prints, maybe I want to do some canvases or some metal prints. So I'm going to click on home decor, and let's go to some metals really quick. Let's do an 8x12 and a 16x24. Because what I want you guys to see is that when I add those to this price list, it does something. It creates another product category. So now what we have to do is we have to go in here and price this stuff and make sure that we set up the ordering options. Because with Zenfolio, you have the option to set these independently. So if you want to come down a little bit on your pricing on the metals, for instance, because the base cost is a little bit higher, maybe you can't sell your metal prints at a 400% markup. Maybe you can only do a 200% markup. Well, with the category being added like this, you have the option to independently control each category. So what we're going to do is we're going to configure this home decor category here. So first we'll start up here at the pricing formula, and let's say this time, rather than doing a 400% markup, because I know the base cost is a lot more for these products, maybe I'm just going to do a 300% markup. So 300%, we'll click apply, and that's going to give me my pricing here. And as you can see, like I said, the base cost for these products is a lot more than for just your normal prints. Now the next thing, again, what we want to do is we want to make sure after we set the pricing for this, we want to make sure that we hit that gear icon and set up the ordering options so that this price list remains simplified. So we're going to go ordering options, color correction. Again, since this is my portrait price list, I know I'm going to be spending time in post-processing on this. Everything's going to be perfect. When I upload it, I'm going to set it to do not enhance. Cropping, again, since I built the price list from my camera's aspect ratio, what I'm going to do is choose fit right here and then click apply. And that ensures that my images are going to fit on the products because I've uploaded them in the 3:2 aspect ratio and everything's going to fit just fine. All right, so that's the big thing I wanted you guys to see is anytime another gray bar is added, that's a new product category that you then need to make sure that you set up the pricing for and also the ordering options. All right, so now that we've got that set up, let's move down here to a little option called Quick Shop. Now you guys will see what this is in a second. This controls what's shown on the little side buying panel in the actual client galleries. Now, by default, it does take 10 products from the price list and adds it over. Again, me being a little bit of a control freak, I want to make sure that I take complete control of this because there's certain products that I know are probably going to sell better than others. Or maybe on some price lists, there's certain products that I just want to feature over the other ones because I have a higher profit margin. So you can use the Quick Shop list to feature those products and maybe sell products that you have a higher profit margin on versus putting it in the order of just cheapest to most expensive. So what I'm going to do is uncheck this, and I'm going to just grab all of this right here and add it over. And now I know that the 4x6, I probably have the highest profit margin on that because I bumped the price up after changing the pricing formula. But just so you guys can see how this works, let's say that maybe I bump up the price of this 8x12 a little bit. So let me go up here, and at the 400% markup, that 8x12 selling price is $18. Let's say that I bump that up to $30. So I know that the profit margin on that 8x12 is much, much higher than the other products in here. So now what I could do is if I wanted to feature that, I could come down here to the Quick Shop list, find that 8x12, and bump it up to the top. And this will make a lot more sense when I show you guys what this looks like in the client galleries. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down here. Actually, before we save this, I'm going to go into adding framing and mounting options. Now, I've got a total of 7 products here. Again, we're looking for a nice simplified price list. I've got a total of 7 products here. If this was an actual price list that I was really building out for my account, for my personal site, I would definitely add a little bit more. My target usually is 10 to 15 products at the most. Maybe a couple more than that, but I try to stay under 20. But what I do want to do is, since I'm offering sizes that my clients may not be 100% familiar with, such as an 8x12 versus an 8x10, what I want to do is I want to offer the option of them ordering frames. So you can go right here to finishing and mounting. And you can actually offer frames here as well. So I'm just going to come down. I'm not going to add too many. I'm just going to say, let's do a black metal frame. We'll click on that. And then maybe I'll only offer it for 8x12 and up. And then what you can do is you can come right up here and you can do a pricing formula. Or you can manually set those pricing just like with the prints and products. So let me get this there. All right. So once we have that, the next thing that I usually like to do is go to price list settings, because there's an option in here that I want to make sure that you guys are aware of. This option is called order approval. Now, this is a really awesome feature. What this is anytime you create a new price list, by default, order approval is going to be turned on. And what this means is that when your clients go to their galleries, they go in and they place an order. They're actually charged at the time they place that order. You will get an email, but before this order is sent out to the labs for the labs to print it, you actually get a chance to review the order and make sure that everything looks okay. Sometimes clients put in the wrong shipping address. Sometimes clients contact you 5 minutes after placing an order and they say, I totally picked the wrong product. I totally picked the wrong photo. Or can I add something? Can I change something? As long as you have order approval turned on and you have not approved that order yet, there are definitely some options that you have to change things and make corrections. Now, depending on what level of account you have, if you have an advanced account, there's a lot of changes that you can make yourself. If you have a pro or premium account or those types of accounts, there are some changes that you can make. Some of the other changes you'll have to contact customer support, but we are always happy to help you guys out with your orders and try to fix anything that we can for you and your clients before that order goes into production. Now, if you guys turn this order approval off, then what happens is the second your clients make that order, they're charged for the order, and then there's a very small window that we have if something's wrong with that order to catch it before it goes into production. A very, very small window. That system and that process is really fast. We want it to be fast for you guys because we want these orders to get out to your clients as fast as possible. So once your clients places that order, if order approval is turned off, that order goes to the lab and they start fulfilling it. A very small window that you can catch it before it gets into production. So I personally leave order approval turned on, and I would definitely recommend, if you're allowing your clients to do any cropping, I would definitely recommend leaving order approval on. That way you can check their cropping and make sure they didn't do any funny cropping that's just not going to work right for the print. Now, another option that you have here is you can show best print option here if you want. Since I built a really simplified price list, and I built it based on my camera's aspect ratio, I don't need this option. I'm actually just going to uncheck it because I don't need it. So now what we're going to do is scroll down here to the bottom, and I'm just going to click save. This is going to take me back to the price list. And before we assign this out to a gallery, I want to check on you guys in chat, see if there's any questions I can answer in this process, and then we'll finish up by assigning this to a gallery, and I'll show you what it looks like to a client. So let me check on you guys in chat. All right, Cheryl says, how is it that I know what my photo aspect is? So Cheryl, on that video that Cheryl put out in the chat, and there's a calculator link in the bottom of it. I don't remember the mathematical formula right off the top of my head, but if you go into that calculator, it will actually calculate your aspect ratio for you. So let me just pull it back over here really quick so you guys can see it. Let me pull it right here, and let me make this a little bit bigger. And it's going to tell you what your aspect ratio is. So all you do is you get this calculator. It's going to be in that video download. You put your image height and width right here, and it will tell you what your aspect ratio is. So this is just a cropped version. I think mine are most of mine are 4,000 by 6,000. Something like that. I can't remember exactly, but that's a 3:2 aspect ratio right there. So you just put your image height and width in here, and it will tell you what the aspect ratio is, and it will also give you a list of print sizes that are in that aspect ratio. Now, if your image has been cropped to some weird dimension and you put it in here, what this calculator is going to do is actually try to find the closest aspect ratio that we offer in Zenfolio and tell you how to crop your image to make that fit. So that's how you do that. Unfortunately, I don't remember the mathematical calculation. I made this calculator and then I pretty much just forgot all the math that went into it. So that is there in that calculator. It will show you how to calculate. It'll show you what your aspect ratio is based on your image dimensions. All right, John McCormick. Hey, John, always a pleasure having you here hanging out with us. He says, as a landscape photographer, letting customers have the option to crop is beneficial. Many 3:2 aspect ratio photos work well as 5:4 ratio crops. I call it the calendar format. Absolutely, John, you are totally correct. Letting your clients have the option to crop is definitely beneficial. And like you said, so really it depends on the type of photography you do. It depends on your knowledge, the knowledge that your clients have as far as cropping and all of that stuff goes. And really, as a photographer, you know about your images the best and what crop and what aspect ratio they're going to look best in. And using that information, you need to make decisions on how you want to build your price list. As John said, you know, many of the 3:2 aspect ratio photos work well as 5:4, which is completely true, especially for landscape photographers. So definitely depends on the type of photography you do as well. All right, let me see. Did I get everybody's questions? Make sure I hit everybody's questions here. I had a question. Where was it? Somebody asked about price list for panoramics. All right, right here, Robert Torres. So you can build a price list for panoramic photos. Like I said, the print sizes are going to be a little bit limited. What you want to do is you just go to Add Products right here, go to Prints, and then actually over here on the left, it'll say Square and Wide Prints right here, and you can see the wide print options that we have right here. Now there are some other options. If you choose a different lab, I think MPix Pro has some more options, But basically, if you want to build a price list just for panoramics, you would just include those print sizes on the price list. And that's how you would do that. All right, guys, great questions today. Thank you guys for so many questions. If you have any more questions, don't forget there is about a 30-second delay. So definitely get your questions in sooner than later, because there is about a 30 to 45-second delay by the time you guys get your questions in, and then by the time I actually see them and answer them. So make sure you're getting your questions in as soon as possible so I can get those answered for you guys. All right, so let me jump back here and let me just get the chat turned off. Okay, so what we've done is we've built a price list based on our camera's aspect ratio. We've made it really simple by limiting the products that are in there. We've limited the paper type. We've also limited the ordering options. So we've made a super simple and condensed price list down for our clients. Now, the other thing that we did as well was we went down here to the bottom and we customized our quick shop products. We want to be in control of what our clients see. So we went down here and we customized this. Whatever strategy you want to use is fine. I was just showing you that you do have the option if you want to put more expensive products up top or products that have a larger profit margin, you can do that and feature those products. But if you want to put it cheapest to highest price, that's definitely an option that you have as well. So this price list has been set up. We've made sure that order approval was turned on. So now the next step is going to be to save this price list and assign it to a gallery or a group of galleries or whatever you want to do. So if you know that you're going to be working from one primary price list, let's say that you're a portrait photographer, this is your main portrait price list. You know that most of the galleries that you upload are going to be using this price list, but occasionally you might have a different one assigned. What you can actually do is save this, go to save and assign, and you can do this a couple of different ways. If you have a clients group where you're uploading all of your client galleries, you could just assign the price list to that, and then any gallery that's in that group will take this price list on, and any new gallery that you upload to that group will automatically take this price list on. So if you're going to be working with one primary price list, this is a good way to do that. If you're going to work with several different price lists, what you might consider doing is building a group for each different genre of clients that you work with, and then you can assign the price list to those groups. That way when you upload into them, the appropriate price list is automatically assigned. So I'm going to assign this to my clients group really quick. We're just going to click save, and that's going to assign it. And from there, you can see right here, here's that price list that we created. You can see how many products are in it, and you can see how many photos are assigned, and you can also see the date that we modified it. Now, before I leave here and show you what this price list looks like from the client side, if you need to make any changes, maybe this price list works really good, but maybe you've got a couple of clients you want to charge a little bit more for, and you don't want to just go through the process of creating another price list. What you can do is you can actually duplicate this price list right here, and then go in and really quickly just change the pricing as you need it and save it and then assign it. So you don't have to start from scratch every time. You can definitely use a created price list as a template, duplicate it, and then modify it as you need, and that's going to save you some time. Okay, so we have got that price list created right there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to photos, and we are going to open up a client gallery with that price list assigned to it, and I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. Now, I've been playing around in this account. Hopefully the client galleries are halfway decent looking. That one's definitely not. Let me go to this one right here, and we're just going to go. So anytime you want to test something out from a client's perspective, what you want to do is you want to open it in either a browser that you're not logged into your Zenfolio account, or most modern browsers will offer you an option like a private window or an incognito window. And in this case, I'm using Google Chrome, and I could do an incognito window. And that will let me test this gallery out like I'm an actual visitor, without actually having to log out of my Zenfolio account. Because I think it's super annoying to have to log out, go test something, just to turn around and have to log back in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here under Toolbox, scroll down to the very bottom, And we're just going to go to sharing and client access, and we're going to copy this link to the gallery. And then what I want to do is also make sure that the correct price list is applied. So right here you can see Portraits 2018. Click on an image, Portraits 2018. Now, Robert Torres, we were talking earlier about having a different price list. If you've got some photos that were specifically taken at Panoramic and you want to assign a different price list to just those, you can. So you can assign the price list to the gallery, but then let's say maybe this photo, for whatever reason, we only want it to be purchased from a specific price list. You can click on the photo and go and change the price list for just that specific photo if you want. So let me see here. We'll just do this one and save. So now when the client views the gallery, this photo will have different print sizes on it than the rest of them because we assigned a different price list just to this photo. Now before we go look at this, I'm just going to set it back because I don't want to forget. So I'm going to go down to all, go to right here and just say same as containing gallery Portraits 2018 and click save. Okay, so we copied our client access link. Now what we're going to do is in Google Chrome, we're going to go to File and New Incognito Window. You guys can't see it, but it's a new incognito window, which is this right here. And then what I'm going to do is just paste in that gallery link and we're going to take a look. All right, so here is the client gallery. And if I click on this photo, it's going to take me into Quick Shop. Here's that 8x12 that I pushed up to the top. And here are those Quick Shop lists right here. And as you can see, this is a really, really simple price list. None of these products take any kind of configuration. It's really simple. It's just a, yes, I want this photo in a 4x6, and boom, it's in the price list. They don't have to worry about the cropping. It's right in their cart. All they have to do is click on that and it goes right into their cart. So with a price list this simple, something that I might do is I might even customize the gallery to remove this visit shop option right here because I don't really want my clients clicking on it because they can shop from this page much, much easier with this price list. Just to show you what Visit Shop is, it's going to take you to the Shop Home. Now the Shop Home is really, really good if you offer a very large and extensive price list, and if you offer products that require configuration. Maybe you're selling a collage where multiple photos need to be added, different things like that. That's when you want to leave this Shop Home option on because it gives you this nice thumbnail view and everything's kind of categorized, and especially if your price list is really large. So let's jump back to the gallery, and what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up your shopping options so you can either use just the Quick Shop only, just the shop page only, or you can use both. So let me just hide this for now. So now we're back in Zenfolio. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to load the Smith gallery right into Customize View. So if you guys ever want to customize a specific gallery, all you have to do is click on it in your organizer. And then what we're going to do is hop over Preview and click Customize. And while this is loading, let me check on you guys here in chat really quick. Let's see. John says, is there a way to offer frames but make them so that the customer has to add a backer board to the print? I only want to sell framed prints with a backer board. Hey John, absolutely yes there is. What you're going to set up is a pre-configured package, and I will show you how to do that in a second. Robert says, I notice your watermark. How does that work? Absolutely, you can use watermarks in Zenfolio. Once I get this option set up, we're going to go back over in the other view and I'll show you guys how to set up the watermarks. And then John, I'll also make sure I show you how to do that pre-configured package option where the frame and the backer board. All right, so let me jump back here. And so what we're going to do here is I'm just going to show you really quick how to set up the option so you can either use Quick Shop, Shop Home, or both. So once you're in the gallery and customize view, if you go to options right up here at the top, there's going to be shopping setup right here. You just need to uncheck use defaults. And then you've got three options. You can use Quick Shop and the shop page. So that is what we were using here. So the way you know if you have Quick Shop and the shop page on is because it will show Quick Shop over here and it will show Visit Shop right here. If you want to get rid of one of those, you can just say, you know what, I want to use, oops, I clicked back. Sorry, guys. All right, so you can say, I want to use Quick Shop only. And when you select that option and you apply it and you publish, that Visit Shop up at the top goes away. Or you could select shopping pages only, and then the Quick Shop list on the side goes away, and when your clients click buy, it will take them to that shop homepage. Since the price list is really simple, I'm going to set this up to use the Quick Shop only, and then I'll show you guys how it works, and then I'll hop back over and we'll talk about that packaging with the framing and the watermarks. So what I'm going to do is just say Quick Shop only right here, and then we're going to scroll down and click apply. And then what I want to do is I don't want to have to do this for every single gallery because I know I'm going to build my price list really simple. So what I'm going to do is save this as default so that this becomes my gallery default settings and I don't have to apply that. I don't have to apply that to all of the galleries. Once I save it as default and I click publish, all of my galleries that use default settings are automatically going to take that on. All right, guys, so now let me show you what we did. We turned that off. So now we're going to go back to this page right here. And as you'll notice, the Visit Shop button is still there. That's because I haven't refreshed the page yet. So I'm going to do Command R. And now that Visit Shop page button right here should go away. And we should just see the Quick Shop list. So the Visit Shop went away, and we just see that Quick Shop list. And this is a really simple price list. Removing that Visit Shop option is going to remove any client confusion of, well, why is there a Visit Shop there? And the price list is going to be shown right here on the Quick Shop. Nice, simple, and easy for my clients to use. All right, guys, let me jump back over, and we will start grabbing those questions out of chat. So let me jump back over to my dashboard. And let's see here. So John says, is there a way to offer frames but make it so that the customer has to add a back border to the print? I only want to sell frames with a backboard. So if you go up here to, let me see here for a second. So just to point out, MPix always includes the relevant backing for their frames. So if you're offering the framed options, John, from if you're offering the framed options from like MPix Pro, those always come with a backboard. So the second your clients choose frames, those are going to come with the correct backboard. MPix is going to include that already for you. Your clients don't actually have to select that option. But what I was saying, if you wanted to sell a pre-configured option where it's a photo with a certain frame and all of that stuff, maybe you want to make sure that they get the luster coating, you can set that up as a package. So if I go to selling right here and we go to packages, what I'm going to do is just click add new package, and I'm going to call this custom frame option, just to give it a name. Obviously you would probably name this something much better than that. But now what I'm going to do is, this is a single photo for all products in here. We're going to go add product. First, we're going to pick out the print size that we want. So right here, prints, let's do this as a 16 by 24. So we're going to choose 16 by 24 and click add selected products. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to come right here and I'm going to say do not enhance. And then what I'm going to do right here is choose my paper type already. And then we can go right here to the framing and mounting options and preset this up. So we can say, yes, I want the luster coating. And then what we're going to do right here is choose the frame option. So I'm just going to go down here and let's say we want it to be that black curved frame. And then let's say we want to add a matte as well. And we want to make sure it's non-glare glass. Now you're going to see there's not a backerboard option, John. That's because, like I said, MPix already includes that. When the print is framed, it automatically includes the backboard. All right, so what we're going to do here is go and click apply. And then what I'm going to do is just come down here and set the selling price. So let's say, we'll say $200 or maybe $300. Click next. And now what we've done is we've created a package. We would just add this to a price list. And when the client selects this option with a photo, it's automatically going to apply that frame option, the matte option, and the glass and the luster coating and all that for them. They don't actually have to go in and choose any of that. It puts it all together in that configuration that you've set up and applies that to the product. All right, let me jump over and grab Robert's question here really quick. So Robert says, I noticed your watermark. How does that work? So let me go back to the photos page really quick, and let me show you how watermarks work. Now, Robert, or anybody, if you guys are just getting started on Zenfolio and watermarks are something that's very, very important to you, what you want to do is set up a default watermark. So let me show you where watermarks are. Let me explain how they work, and I'll show you how to create a default one. So watermarks are right here. You're going to click on watermarks, and then you can upload your own custom one. There's actually a video on our YouTube channel where I show you how to create one in Photoshop and how to upload it. So definitely check out that video. It will show you how to create a watermark in Photoshop and upload it into Zenfolio. I've already got some up here loaded in here, but let's say you don't have any. What we're going to do is click new, and let me grab some water. Woo. All right. So what we're going to do is Zenfolio has some built-in watermarks that you can use, or you can upload your own custom one right here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a standard watermark for the time being, and let's just use this proof one. So I'm going to click proof and hit save, and that's going to add a watermark in here, and then you can call it whatever. So I could call it Robert's watermark. Hit enter. So we've created this new watermark, and if you want to set it as your default, meaning that any new photos that you upload into your account from this point on will take that watermark on, you can click this little button right here that says set as default, and any new photos that you upload will take this watermark on. Now, before you do that, you might want to adjust the properties of the watermark to make sure it looks the way that you want. So you're going to click on the watermark here and go over to properties, and then you can actually change the opacity of the watermark here, grab it and move it around. And then you can also see what it looks like on some other styles of photos. So you can click here, see what it looks like on this photo, click here, and click here. And then once you're happy with it, you're just going to click the save button right here. So now we've saved that watermark. And then if we click the set as default, which I'm not going to, but if you click that set as default, from that point on, anytime you upload new photos to Zenfolio, that watermark automatically gets applied to them. Now, how does the watermark get applied? Zenfolio never ever alters the original images that you upload. So when you upload photos, we take that original image and we store it, and we never change anything with it. We never change anything with it. What we do is our system actually generates 9 different display images that are actually used on your website. They're web resolution images to make your website run faster, and that way people don't have access to high resolution images from your website. Those are the images that get the watermark applied to it, not your original image. So if your images have watermarks applied from Zenfolio, then what's going to happen is if somebody orders a print, that watermark will not be on it. If somebody purchases a digital download, that watermark's not going to be on the digital download that they purchased. Now, if you upload an image with a watermark on the actual image that you upload, that's a completely different story. But the watermark system in Zenfolio will not have watermarks when they order prints or digital products. It's only put on the display image. Now, if you need to go in and manually apply watermarks to some of your photos, maybe you had some galleries uploaded before you set it up, then what you're going to do is come down here and you can click on the gallery. So we're going to click on this gallery right here, and you can see these photos don't have any W's on them. That's because they're not watermarked. So if I came over here and went down to the watermark section, I can now apply a watermark to this gallery and hit save. And then you'll see a little W appear. Now, sometimes when you do that, well, every time you do that, anytime you change the watermark settings, the preview images that we've generated have to re-render and get that watermark applied. So occasionally, after you change the watermark, you might look at a photo on here and you might see little spinny wheels, or you might be looking at it in a gallery and you might see little spinny wheels. That means that Zenfolio is regenerating the watermark, regenerating the preview image to have that watermark applied. So occasionally you might see that. Usually the process is really fast, but occasionally you might see that regeneration. All right, let me catch up to you guys on chat. We've only got a few more minutes left, so let me see if I can answer some of these other questions here. It looks like Impic's frame prints are glued to backer board or foam core by default. Looks like Cheryl's looking into that for you, John. So thank you, Cheryl, for taking care of that question. I think she's getting the information from the lab. Roxanne says, whoa, that is one big red cup. Yeah, you know, when you talk as much as I do, you have to have lots of water setting here. Otherwise, your throat gets really dry. So occasionally when I switch off the screen and you guys can't see me and I'm moving my mouse, I'm really quickly trying to grab a drink of water so I can keep talking to you guys. Let's see. Let me scroll down here. Mike Reynolds says, hi, thank you for this useful info. Is it possible to send a client gallery and give them an option to pick one download, one image, and then they need to order and pay for any other images that they want? Yes, Mike, that's totally possible. I don't have enough time to go into how to do that, but let me just give you an idea of how it's done. And there are videos on the YouTube channel that will, there's videos on our YouTube channel that will guide you kind of through that process. So what you're going to do first is you're going to need to create digital downloads. So there's on our YouTube channel, there's a selling digital products tutorial that will show you how to set up digital downloads for sale. Now, I know you want to give your client one free digital image and then they have to pay for the rest. So the second part of that is going to be setting up a coupon that will allow your client to get one free download and then have to purchase the rest. So there's two videos. There's actually, you know what? I think I redid. There actually is one video that will show you that whole process. It's called Limiting the Number of Downloads Your Client Get with a Coupon. It's a recent download video that I did. And if I can get Cheryl to put that video in the chat for you guys, it's a really great video. It shows you how to create a coupon to let your clients only get a certain amount of free downloads and then have to pay for the rest. So Mike, all right, was it Mike that asked that? Yeah, Mike. So Mike, that's how you're going to do it, is with a coupon. It will let them get one download for free and then they'll have to purchase the rest. It's a really cool feature, and Zenfolio's digital download features is really cool as well because it has licenses that apply to them. So they're not just getting to download that image for free and then not have any limitations. They actually have to agree to a license that you apply to the image, and that license is also included in the digital download. So it's really awesome. It's a really useful feature. It's one of my favorite things that Zenfolio has. It looks like Cheryl's throwing that tutorial out there. Let's see if I can catch up. John says, I thought so. That's why I stopped selling frame prints. Unfortunately, there is a problem with them warping. Maybe I can utilize Robert's suggestion with a package set up. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, John. I would try that route. If you're having issues with them warping, I would definitely reach out to support, reach out to the lab. Let's figure out what's going on. You can always reach out to us at zenfolio.com/contact. I'm not going to be around, guys. I'm going to be at the trade show. So if you email and put attention Robert, it could be a little bit before you hear back from me. But our support team is amazing. One of the things I love about our support team is that about 99% of our support team are photographers as well. So when you guys email in, if you call in, or if you chat in, not only are you talking to a real person who really does care about the issues that you have, but you're also talking to another photographer. And I think that's something that makes us really awesome, as our support team is just amazing. All right, guys, unfortunately, we are out of time. So thank you guys for hanging out with us. It's going to be Kayla next week, so make sure you guys all come back, same time, same place. Come say hi to Kayla. Ask her lots of questions. She is awesome. And thanks again, Cheryl, for all the amazing help. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And if you're down in Denton, Florida this weekend, make sure to come to the Sync Trade Show and say hi. I'd love to talk to you guys. Until then, be safe and have a great weekend.
Tell that lie.